In a small, forgotten village surrounded by dense forests, there lived an old woman named Eliza. She was known for her strange habits and peculiar belongings, but the most mysterious of all was the ancient, leather bag she always carried. Legend had it that the bag was no ordinary badge, it was enchanted. It could give its owner anything they desired, but only at a great cost. Eliza, despite her frail appearance, had always managed to survive in the village, never lacking for anything. Some whispered that the bag was the source of her longevity, while others claimed it held darker secrets. One stormy night, a curious young man named Jack decided to uncover the truth. He had always been fascinated by the old woman and her magical bag. When the opportunity arose, he snuck into her home while she was away, determined to take the bag for himself. As Jack held the bag in his hands, a strange warmth spread through his body. He could feel its power, pulsing with every heartbeat. Without thinking, he made his first wish gold, enough to make him the richest man in the world. The bag obliged, but with each wish Jack made, the bag grew heavier, and the village around him grew darker. Shadows crept from the forest, and the once vibrant village became a ghost town. Jack realized too late that the bag didn't just grant wishes, it took something in return. By the time he tried to stop, it was too late. The bag had consumed everything he held dear. In the end, Jack disappeared, just as Eliza had before him, leaving the village to decay in silence. Now, the bag waits for its next victim, hidden in the ruins of the old woman's home, its leather still warm to the touch. But beware what it gives, it always takes back, and the cost is more than you can ever imagine. Years passed, and the village became nothing more than a memory, swallowed by the encroaching forest. The story of the enchanted bag was passed down through whispers, growing fainter with each generation, until it became nothing more than a legend told around campfires. One evening, a group of travelers, unaware of the village's dark history, stumbled upon the ruins. Among them was a woman named Lila, a seasoned explorer with a thirst for adventure and a heart hardened by years of searching for lost treasures. The crumbling walls of the village intrigued her, and when she heard the tale of the enchanted bag from a local guide, she knew she had to find it. Despite the warnings, Lila pressed on. She spent days combing through the ruins, sifting through debris and overgrown vegetation. Just as she was about to give up, she found it hidden beneath a pile of rubble in what was once Eliza's home. The bag looked ordinary, dusty and worn, but the air around it seemed to hum with a strange energy. Lila, unlike Jack, was cautious. She didn't immediately wish for riches or power. Instead, she tested the bag's magic with small, harmless wishes. A fresh apple, a cool drink of water, a simple knife. The bag granted each wish without hesitation, and for a time, Lila believed she had outsmarted the curse. But as the days went on, she noticed subtle changes. Her reflection in the mirror seemed older, her hair streaked with gray that hadn't been there before. The forest around her camp grew thicker, darker, as if the trees were closing in. Her companions started to fall ill, one by one, their faces pale and gaunt. Determined to break the bag's hold, Lila made a final wish for the curse to be undone, for everything to return to how it was before she had ever touched the bag. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a violent shudder, the ground beneath her feet split open, and the bag fell into the chasm, swallowed by the earth. The village ruins collapsed, the trees trembled, and the shadows that had lingered so long began to dissipate. Lila collapsed to the ground, exhausted but alive. Her companions recovered. The forest seemed less oppressive, and it appeared that the curse had finally been lifted. They left the village, swearing never to speak of it again. But as they journeyed far from the cursed land, none of them noticed the small, leather bag nestled in the corner of Lila's pack. It had reappeared, waiting for the moment when someone, driven by curiosity or greed, would open it again. And when that day came, the bag would be ready to claim another soul.